Hey guys, hope you all have been well. Welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I wanted to do a series where I give you recommendations to put some eyeshadow quads together. So if you're interested in building your kit or building your collection, these are some of my recommendations. Solid eyeshadows that I enjoy from MAC and things that I feel comfortable recommending to you guys. So before I begin, I would like to start off by prefacing two things. The first is that my eyeshadow collection when it comes to MAC has drastically downsized, so I'm left with just these and a couple more here in my palette. So I won't be recommending quite as much, and I'm going to be mixing and matching all of these shades here. But again, that goes back to only keeping the eyeshadows that I love. So I really do enjoy these ones that I have here for you. And secondly, I did double check on the MAC website and all of these shades are still available. I'd hate to recommend something to you and you not be able to buy it, so I did the work beforehand. With that said, let's get started. All right, so here we have our first set of eyeshadows, and I would consider this a orangey warm quad. And for this quad, I decided on 3 mattes and a shimmer. This first one here is Amber Lights. Then we have Red Brick. Here we have Rule. And lastly, we have Brown Script. And for those of you that like to incorporate color but still have the option of going neutral, I think this is a really good color combination for you. These 3 are very safe to do like a fall look, something very warm, very turning of the leaves, if you will. These are still fairly safe, but they are more on the colorful side. So for those of you that are interested, I mean, does this not look like Thanksgiving or what? All right, here we have our next quad, and I would consider this like a brown bronze quad. And in this first shade, we have Saddle. This second one, here we have Bronze. Again, we have Amber Lights. And then lastly, for a bit of depth, we have Ground Brown. And with this quad, I decided to go with 2 mattes and 2 shimmers. I think having these 2 options can create more variety in terms of creating bronze. If you want to just use this by itself, blend the 2 together, or just use this as a smoky look. And with the mattes, you have a medium tone and a deeper tone of brown so that you can mix and match how you want or how much depth you want in your eyeshadow look. Next up, we have the Warm Neutral Matte. I'm a believer in just having the right tones of matte that go with your skin tone or variety if you're a makeup artist, and that way you always have something that you can pull from at any given time. So with these mattes, I did a variety, light, medium, dark, and I also did a mixture of like neutral tones and warm tones. So down here we have a Ground Brown again. Then we have Brown Script. Here we have a Saddle. And lastly, we have Soft Brown. These are easily some of my favorite brown shades amongst all the brown shades that I have in my collection, and that's saying a lot because I do have many. Next up, we have an all shimmer quad. I figured if I was going to do an all matte, I might as well do an all shimmer. Sometimes people do have a wide variety of mattes and they just want a good selection of shimmers, so I started off with Amber Lights. Here we have Bronze. Here we have Woodwinked. And lastly, we have Patina. Now, these 2 definitely lean warm, but I would say this one is neutral and this one is cool tone. I generally prefer warmer shades, which is why I have most of them in my collection, but I would highly recommend all of these. Woodwinked happens to be one of my favorite lid shades ever. Patina was a cult classic a long time ago, and it's kind of this greenish gray brown. If you can see it in the pan, it's a gorgeous shade and it's a subtle shimmer, so it's not going to overpower the entire look. And I've swatched these already a couple times for you, so it shows how much I do enjoy these shades. I did not forget you cool tone lovers out there, so I did put together a cool tone quad. For the most part, I did include a warm neutral brown, but I'm going to be including something else you can substitute for this shade. So this first one here, we have Soft Brown. Here we have Cork. Here we have Patina. And lastly, we have Espresso. And I wanted to do a 3 matte option first because that's what I did with the warm option. And so I wanted to make sure I was kind of lining up with all the other recommendations. But if this is too warm for you, and maybe you'd like to have 2 mattes and 2 shimmers, you could substitute this shade with this one. And so if I cover this up, these 4 shades here make a much more neutral cool tone quad. So we can go either way. So this next quad is the Everyday Smokey. So I have in this first shade bronze, then we have Cork, here we have Woodwinked, and lastly we have Espresso. I thought with a smoky you should be able to have at least a transition and like an outer deepening shade, and then you can have the option of 2 shimmers. So that's why I went with a lighter version and a deeper version depending on how you're feeling that day. Now this I think leans more neutral cool. However, if your eyeshadow preference leans towards more of a warm neutral, then I would substitute Espresso with Ground Brown, which is this shade here. This does lean a little bit more warmer. This is straight up a cool tone. So depending on your preference, what your color options usually are, I would go with either one as a deepening shade. And for the last quad, I wanted to do kind of a neutral, everyday purple inspired one. I feel like purple has kind of become the new addition to wearable or everyday makeup, so I thought it was important to at least try and curate a quad for that. So this is very like romantic in my opinion. This first one here we have soft brown. Here we have Sable. It's such a pretty eyeshadow. Ground Brown yet again, and then this one I think it's Haux or Haux. If you know which of the pronunciation is correct, or I'm pronouncing both of them incorrectly, please let me know down below. But this is such an amazing shade. I don't think that this ever got the attention quite like these other shades have, particularly these 2 matte shades. But this is such like a staple cool tone purple transition shade. But with this quad you have just a very solid shimmer shade, you have a light medium transition, you have a crease, and you can use Ground Brown to deepen out the outer corner, or you can use it as eyeliner and just have a full look with all of them combined. All right guys, there we have it. I really do hope that you enjoyed this video. I don't know how many more videos like these I can do, but maybe I can look through my ColourPop ones and maybe put a few quads together if you found this video helpful. So with that said guys, thank you so much for joining me, and until the next video, I hope you all are doing well, taking great care of yourselves. I will see you all next time. Bye guys.